Yo, what's good? How's everything going? In this video, I kind of want to talk about the two different types of coaches that there are when it comes to selling courses, and kind of go over which one's better, which one has like the more longevity, and which one will make more money, right? So you've got Coach A. Essentially, they've got a big following, 100k, but calling them a coach is kind of probably not the right word. They're more of an influencer. Obviously, the flash to watch, the cash, and all that. But yeah, the main content they post is vlogs, and the vlogs consist of flexing cars, cash, and the lifestyle, right? They're not really selling info, they're kind of just selling a lifestyle. And all of this content is pushed to their like 100k followers, and it's used to sell the lifestyle to these followers, and that's all they use to then sell their mystery box product, right? Which usually comes in the form of like a $45 PDF, right, on how to dropship or how to trade. Yeah, there's no real value in these courses, and they are usually fucking dog shit, right? And you might be thinking, obviously, if someone's got 100k followers and they're posting a lot of content, they've got a lot of like fans and stuff, why are they only charging $45? And it's because they don't actually have a fucking clue about what they're talking about. They don't actually know anything about dropshipping or trading. They're just selling bullshit. Probably some bullshit they found on YouTube, downloaded the transcript and got ChatGPT to make a course for them out of it. That's literally probably all of it is, right? And the thing is, this is a fucking big issue, because what it does is it just burns their audience. So they can only really get a few goals out of this before their audience is completely burnt, and they can't keep fucking ripping them off for money, right? And the way this works is because obviously every audience you've got, it's like this triangle, right? The top 3% here, this 3% of your audience, they're in buy now mode. So they're the 3% that buy this product. The rest, the other 97%, are either just there to enjoy the vlog content, so they're just here to watch this, or they need nurtured and to be given extra value, info, and they need to actually be taught, which this guy can't fucking do, because all he does is sell a lifestyle. That's literally all he does, right? So once this 3% have bought the course, they realize it's dog shit, they're never going to buy again. Or maybe like 1% of that 3% might buy again, because they'll fall for it again. They'll be like, oh, this one will be different, you know what I mean? They're just gambling, right? So once the audience is burnt, once the creator has burnt through this 3%, he'll post more vlogs, more content, and it'll build up another 3%, but the reputation damage is too much for it to be sustainable for a long amount of time, right? So that's why there's no longevity, and this doesn't really work. It's just usually cash grabs, and that's usually done through like creator alt accounts and stuff like that. So then you've got Coach B. Now, before we go into Coach B, obviously there is a disclaimer. Coach B is the harder path, right? You've got to also build a following, just like Coach A, and you've also got to have a skill. You've got to have the knowledge on how to actually monetize and make money with that skill, and you've got to also actually do what it is that you're selling, right? So pretty much you need to do everything that they've done plus 3 more things. That being said, the following doesn't have to be very big. So on Instagram, for example, you can have maybe 5 to 7k followers, and on YouTube 2k is fine, right? As long as you're posting consistently every week and the content that you post isn't flexing Lambos, money, or your lifestyle, and it's actually informational stuff that your audience will get value from, this 2k on YouTube is better than 100k on YouTube when the content's just about fucking flashy lifestyle stuff. If this 2k is strictly just subscribers from content that you've posted about a specific niche and value and skill, then they're way more valuable, right? So what this does is it builds up authority and trust. So then it allows you to, so let's say for example you're Coach B, you haven't even sold an info product yet. You're literally just at this stage right here. You're in a way better position than this guy who's at 100k and is selling a $45 product, you're actually in a better position because you can go from anywhere with this. You can make a low ticket community or you can do a high ticket product because you've got trust and authority. Because your content, it actually shows people and people actually learn from it. It shows them that you actually know what you're doing. So once you've obviously got that authority and trust, you can then basically use your content to funnel them to an offer, just the same way Coach A did, obviously with better sales systems and things like that. But the difference is you can be charging 2 to 5k per person that joins, and you might open 10 slots per launch. So you're making 50k per launch that you do, and you can do a launch a month, right? And then there's obviously ways to scale and things like that from 50k. So like 50k isn't the cap, but you might be thinking obviously like, well, that's great. How do I, like, you don't understand how to do this, and you're probably already doing this. You're probably already doing the YouTube, doing the Instagram, posting regularly, not posting bullshit, and actually teaching people. So how do you actually scale it if you aren't already? Well, it's pretty simple. So I've got a full video breaking this down exactly how I generated $61,000 on a single launch. So in simple terms, what you need is you need a skill. So starting off, you need a skill. So this skill can be anything. And usually the skill falls in between one of the 3 pillars, right? So you've got relationships, health, and business. So relationships is something I stay away from because there's not as much money in this skill. But this will be things like, it's usually how to get into a relationship, how to maintain one, and how to get out of a bad one. That's pretty much all relationships are. So if you're like in the relationship space, you can definitely make a lot of money, but it's something that I avoid. So then it brings you to health and business, right? So health and business are 2 great ones, but they're also the ones that there's a lot more people doing. Business, in my opinion, has the most like monetary value because you're teaching somebody something with an ROI. So if they pay 5k for a business course, they have the chance to make it back with the business that you're teaching them. Whereas health, the like kind of ROI, the return on investment they're getting is better health. So there's no like monetary investment back. So what I would suggest is I don't just suggest you do, like, let's say your skill's dropshipping, or let's say your like skill for health is like just losing weight. I don't suggest you just start a course on how to lose weight. If you're selling an info product, it needs one of 2 things. It either needs to be niche specific and solves a specific problem within that niche, or it needs to have a tangible outcome. So for health, for example, that could be, you could do info around how you help 40-year-old dads lose weight. 40-year-old dads with a full-time job lose weight, right? So these people might only have 30 minutes a day to work out because they've got kids and a job. So what you're going to do is you're going to do content around exactly how you can work out in 30 minutes and lose weight as someone in middle age with a full-time job, right? So that's very niche specific, and you might be thinking, oh well, I'm losing out on a lot of the market because I'm only going for 40-year-old dads, which is true, but it's also not true at the same time, because these 40-year-old dads who might want to buy a fitness course, they can go and buy a random fitness course that's just teaching someone how to lose weight in 30 minutes. It's the exact same thing that you're teaching, but because you've specifically said that you help this specific group of people, they're going to come to you every time. So that's kind of how you would niche down. And then a way to make sure that you've got a tangible outcome, because people don't just, so let's say for example you're selling a course on increasing your fitness, getting fitter, right? People don't just want to get fitter. There's always a reason for it. So let's say for example you teach a course on how to get fit. Great. Not many people are going to buy it because not many people are that bothered. If someone wants to get fit, they'll go and run, right? So what you need to do is you need to give it a tangible outcome. So I teach people how to get fit so that they can compete in their first high rocks. So you see how now we aren't just helping people get fit, we're helping people get fit so that they can achieve something, right? So that's what you need to do. So I'll give an example for business as well. So business, a niche specific thing could be, so yeah, you might be a wedding photographer, right? So you're a wedding photographer. You've got a good skill at it. You've scaled your photography business to 10k a month. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to teach somebody else how to do that. But you can't just go, oh, who wants to be a wedding photographer? I'll teach you how to do it. You need to teach them specifically what it is you're going to do. You need to niche down, right? So you might be a wedding photographer that helps. So being a wedding photographer is already quite niche because you're not just a photographer, you're a wedding photographer. So that's like the niche there. But you might then help them scale to 10k a month with meta ads, right? So that could be what you do. I help wedding photographers scale to 10k a month using meta ads. So all your content will be around how you should use meta ads as a wedding photographer, or how you scaled to 10k a month as a wedding photographer. Do you know what I mean? So you aren't working with any photographer or a wedding photographer who's just started out. You're working with a wedding photographer who's already got clients and is wanting to scale to 10k a month using ads. And then another example of niching down, like a perfect example is Brez, right? Brez is teaching freelance brand scaling. All that is just running ads for clothing brands instead of running ads for any other business. So he's just picked a specific business and said, I only run ads for this business. Buy the course and I'll teach you how to do the same thing. That's pretty much it. Okay, sweet. So now you've got the skill, you need to start posting content around that skill, right? So we'll go with this, right? The 40-year-old fitness dads, right? So all your content will be to do with that one specific niche and one specific pain. We won't be doing anything on how middle-aged, on how 20-year-olds should lose weight. It's all going to be around middle-aged, so 40-year-olds, right? That's it. With full-time jobs. So how can you work out in a short amount of time? That's all the content's going to be about. Once we start making content about this, we need to come up with something called a unique mechanism, right? This allows us to have a better position and gives us really good positioning, right? So a unique mechanism is like a specific name you have for your specific thing. So, for example, using obviously the fitness one again, you might say, your unique mechanism might be, you might call it the 30-minute light work weight loss, right? Something like that. 30-minute light work weight loss. And what I mean by this helps with positioning is that even if someone's teaching the exact same thing as you, so someone here is teaching how to lose weight in 30 minutes, but that's all they say, because you've put a specific name and you've built a brand around your specific mechanism, which is the 30-minute light work weight loss, it puts you way above them. Because you got to think, like, what would someone rather learn? Would someone rather learn how to lose weight in 30 minutes, or would they rather learn the 30-minute light work weight loss, right? So it allows you to have a better positioning on them than in the market, and it helps you build up as an authority. So once we built up the unique mechanism and we started making content around it and exactly already teaching people how to lose weight, we're then going to whisper and kind of tease the product that's going to come, right? So we'll do this through emails, which we've built up through your content and lead magnets and things like that. We'll also do it with IG posts and IG stories, as well as YouTube videos as well, right? So the emails, these will just be, you'll be posting value on email, letting people know that there's something coming, but heavy emphasis on the value. You might even start dropping personal stories of how you lost the weight, or stories on how you've helped people, so case studies. With the story posts, it's going to be very similar to the email, so value, personal story, and case studies, right? And then the IG story post, this is where you kind of whisper the offer. So you'll be dropping a poll with like pain points, asking people what it is that they're struggling with the most, and also kind of letting people know that something's coming soon, right? And then YouTube videos, heavy value, so full in-depth tutorials on exactly what it is that you're going to be teaching them. And all of these four things, funnel them to what will be your landing page when you launch with your VSL on it and things like that, right? And then obviously from here, they enter the sales system, and then that's how you sell the offer. So that's pretty much kind of the idea of how you will start making content and then begin the monetization path. And if that does sound kind of scary and there's like a lot of stuff there that you don't really understand, that's kind of what I'm here for. So I've got a full video breaking down my exact sales systems and sales paths that I use to generate 61k, as well as an entire pre-call flow to make sure that your show up rate is high. So feel free to go away from this video now, watch those things and learn how to do it yourself and do it yourself. But if you don't have enough time to, as the majority of people don't who are trying to coach people, there's a link in the description where you can book a one-to-one call with me, and I'll audit your current full situation. So we'll go through your current audience and what it is that we might need to build them for an offer, or if you've already got an offer and you're just struggling with scaling it, we'll run through a full plan on how exactly we can help you scale your offer.